And good morning. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you on another strong Saturday here during the championship meet. 11 races for you. A trio of stakes to wrap up the proceedings today. A fast main track, a firm turf course, Tapeta in play as well. And just another monster Saturday here during the championship meet.
We've got quite a few of those.
Yeah, we certainly do.
We're now 3 weeks away from Pegasus.
Yeah, wow, 3 weeks away. Pegasus front and center. We'll be talking about that throughout the 3 weeks. And we got a little lightning around Pegasus or no? All right, we've got the noms came out on Thursday, and that list will be updated 2 more times before the big day on the 27th. Never too early to get your tickets and all that good stuff. Boy, it's going to be a happening event here on Pegasus Saturday.
It always is. Very exciting.
Always is. As you said, dueling 3-year-old stakes in the Ginger Brew in race 9, and of course the Dania Beach in race 11. Well, Rainbow 6 as well now. We're already up to $150,000, and of course it'll go comfortably past that today, and could be maybe upwards of $250,000. They have been sending it in on the weekends here as well, and they've been sending it in on the early pick 5 on the weekends too. Upwards of $750,000 have been in these pools.
Yes.
And I've got a ticket today. We'll take a look at it now to kick off in the opener here. A $48 ticket. Lost a pick in the opener in race number 2. The top pick is the 2 Oscars World. You can see the single. I can't use both Flakes and Links, so here's your single with Flakes. In race number 4, the top pick is the 7 Mighty Mekong. And in race number 5, the top pick is, I've got both the 6 and the 8, and the top pick is the 6 Pure Spite. We've got a stat for Jose D'Angelo as well. We've got the cross country pick 5 today. We've got the tropical turf pick 3 that Samantha's got a ticket for a little later on. There is a lot going on wager wise and big pools today. Let's start it off with the opener though. 5.5 on the Tapeta in a $25,000 maiden claimer. 3-year-old fillies. A scratch of the 5 is pretty key. Sky Divine that I certainly had in my mix. You've got on the dot. Did you always?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I didn't lose anything here.
Okay.
Sky Divine was a toss for me. So there's that. On the dot takes a pretty big drop in class here.
Yeah.
And Paco Lopez, 3-bagger yesterday. This is just a rider, and I said this to you last week, that even if the horse doesn't make a whole lot of sense, you should probably be using the horse underneath, if anything, because he's putting these horses in right spots. And, yeah of course, he's riding some favorites as well, but that being said, he's still setting a lot of horses up.
Couldn't agree more. He actually had didn't ride 2 horses yesterday, and he still ended up with 3. So
exactly.
Paco has been, and we've said it actually each and every day from December 3rd on. Paco has been as good as anybody.
Yeah.
Here, he's certainly in the mix for me. I went to the outside Cajun Dove on a special weight drop for Ronnie Spatz, who's quietly done some really good work here at the championship meet too.
Yeah, the post could maybe be a little bit of a problem, but it's 5.5, so you've got a little more room. And, I think that it almost conversely to that works out because this horse didn't show any early speed on debut, so maybe you can just kind of tuck in and get a spot. But you want to be in that top flight.
You better be in that top flight. You're not going to win Tapeta races sprinting coming from out the back. Ronnie's worked with this horse since August 20th, the debut, and I would think I would hope at least she's going to break a little better today. She needs to. On the turf in race number 2 here, and it's a maiden special weight. We'll go a mile here for the newly turned 3-year-olds. It's a deep competitive field of 12. You can go a lot of different ways. Same pick 4 as my pick 5. I'll tweet it out, of course. I've got that today as well with Samantha going in the tropical turf pick 3. And I don't think it's a big surprise that we both land on Oscar World, who I don't want to speak for you, but just seemed like maybe a rare Brian Lynch horse that might have needed one.
He was a race short there. Just needed an extra one. He kind of lugged in a little bit down the lane. I think that was just a result of a little bit of tiredness and leg weariness. He is not the most athletic looking horse, but I think this race, having a race under his belt, should sharpen him.
Yeah, and now he better be sharper because I think this is a better race than the one he comes out of. In a Jam is the 8 who beat him that day, and he was nosed out for the win. I mean, I've got him in the mix. You're fading him completely. Talk about Parakeet, because he was in for 35 a couple weeks ago in scratch.
Yeah, and I thought he couldn't lose that race. I think this is a big move here for the Connections to now have him in this spot here. This horse was working with Chi-Town Lady, which Chi-Town Lady is okay, not so much anymore, but was at one point. Parakeet was just all over outworking this horse. Here's the thing, though. Misael Jaramillo gets aboard. We're going to see some speed from this horse. Irad Ortiz was aboard the pace and work on 12:20 and was named on to ride that maiden claiming race. So take that.
Yeah, I mean, we love Miso around here, but he doesn't ride for Wesley Ward.
Right.
So good for him for getting this mount. But this is a weird horse for me.
Yeah.
That's why, 15 on the line. We'll see what we get today. I made Harton the favorite because, all they do is bet Irad out here. He's so slow on paper. Maybe Lasix.
Maybe, he just hangs. He hung down the lane last time. It felt like he had the perfect opportunity at the Belmont at Aqueduct track and didn't.
The turf race at Aqueduct won't beat 7 horses in here, but it's Todd, it's Irad.
Right.
They're going to bet him, and he can improve. So I think he's in the mix, but I would not want him at an underlaid price. Yeah, race number 3 is a good one. It's an optional claimer here for the fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, a field of 6. And you're going outside the box. I'll tell you what, 4 Dawn has been working up a storm for Jenna Antonucci, who takes over now.
Yeah, I saw the December 24th work, Christmas Eve work on XBTV, and it was just very solid move. And this horse showed some speed in that work. She's had speed in the past, but it's just kind of lost it as of late. But maybe it was just too strong of races. This isn't the strongest group that she's faced before. Now, first time with Jenna Antonucci.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that bugged me is she's literally run one fast race in her life. It was an off-the-turfer at Ellis. So I wasn't sure what to make of her. It's a good thing that Luis Saez gets aboard. I like her post. We'll see what we get today. You said it perfectly. Listen, Flakes and Lynx or Arundel and Brian Cohen, they're okay, but they're no world beaters. We'll show the Lynx replay because she had the there off you lose trip, to be sure. We're going to show you both sides of it here. Here's the head on, and then we'll show you how ugly it is on the pan as well. Okay. Whoop, that's not any good.
No.
And now we'll show the pan, and you can really kind of see where she ended up because you can't always tell from the depth of the head-on, and here it is here. I mean, Paco almost falls off there. Now, with that being said, she would have been there anyway, and I think sometimes with deep closers, people forget about that or they elevate that a little more. It was her first start since March. She might be one of those good 2-year-olds that never grew up. I don't know.
Yeah, that it remains to be seen. We'll see today because theoretically she's supposed to take a step forward here today.
Yes, absolutely. Flakes is the horse to beat. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And she's a lot more tactical than Lynx, but she doesn't have to win either. But this is by far, we'll call it the easiest group Flakes has seen in many moons. Race number 4, we're 6 furlongs on a fast main track. I think we're good with, knock on wood, I think the weather's going to cooperate with us today. It was looked a little worse earlier in the week. I think we're in a good spot now today. 6 furlongs on a fast main track and a maiden optional claimer here for the newly turned 3-year-olds. This is a really, really deep and competitive race, Samantha, and we both land on the top pick, the same pick, Mighty Mekong.
Yep, we do. And this was, let's show the replay because
no replay.
Okay, no replay. Mighty Mekong ran very, very well and the hard way.
Yeah, this is the Hades race too as well.
Yep. Hades came back to win, improved probably 10, 15 buyer points from this race here. So that's looking back at that race, it's even better. And I picked Hades that day, but that still surprised me. This horse galloped out really, really well in the left lead, albeit, but I think just needed the race, got a little tired. Jose Pinchin, you don't really see zap with first-time starters is often in much better second off.
Yeah, I agree. A homebred here, and she gets off the rail, too. I think that he gets off the rail, excuse me. I think that is significant. Let's talk about Entendre, the Jacks Are Better homebred, who's got some pedigree power to go with a pretty, it's a small work tab, but it looks like a pretty decent work tab. Yeah,
the short and sweet. That gate work stands out at Palmettos.
Right.
It's hard to break 48, 47-ish at Palmettos. I just think it is. And it's a pretty solid work. We've seen this barn do this before where you don't have a lot of works and you come out and you win.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident this horse is well prepared for this race.
Yes, definitely.
More than just what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Here, he's a half to Swan Lake, who won the English Channel here, albeit on turf, but he can run as well. And then certainly the 8 Far From a Star for Safi, probably is the one to beat off the good. He was playing around on the front end in the Hades race.
Yeah, this reminds me of a bit of Bluish yesterday.
Yeah.
The Bluish situation that maybe you expect Safi in the late summer, early fall, early winter, whatever you want to call it, not win first time out, and then
Right.
you can get overlooked.
Hey, they didn't bet him yesterday.
No, they did not. So maybe this horse gets overlooked as well.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Race number 5 now, one more before the Rainbow. 6250 claimers here, 4-year-olds and up, 6.5 on that fast main track. Scratch the 4, never satisfied. Brings us to a field of 7, and we both have the top pick of Pure Spite on top off the claim for Jose.
Yeah, well, you said it. Off the claim for Jose. Let's show the stat because this horse looks pretty tough here.
Yeah, this is off the claim in the kind of, we'll call these middling claiming races, 12.5 to 35. He's 4 for 9, so Jose knows what he's doing here. But this horse, this is off the claim in those races. We're in for 62.50 today. That's what worried me a little bit.
I wouldn't be worried about it. Yeah,
win a race?
Just win a race. Yeah, the winner of that race, the 12.5 race, was a dropper from Sandino Hernandez,
right.
A big class dropper that had to win, and this horse just kind of fell into the flow of the race there. I mean, it wasn't going to make too much of an impact. I think the 6.5 is probably better.
Right.
And yeah, this is the race that comes up. What are you going to do? You could run him in the race tomorrow with Boldness.
Boldness is back tomorrow.
Yeah, Boldness is back and be open, but why not just
and
get
Jose
a spot?
puts him where, I mean, we got big purses here now, and so I think,
Yep.
I thought sometimes, Jose does move him up. I said, I don't know, but he's the one in here. I don't think there's any doubt. How about the old guy, Joe DiBaggio, keeps on fire, huh? Cool
man.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and on the sheets, I was kind of shocked at this. Ran a 7 last time on
numbers.
the sheets. If he runs the 7 again, he'll win the race. But I just don't trust it.
No, he's won for a lot here. I know the win was 4 back, but between the win and after the win, the losses add up a little bit. He's a cool dude though, and Gary Jackson's reclaimed him a few times as well. Okay.
This will probably be in Gary Jackson's backyard at some point.
Yeah, at some point. There may be yours. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah.
5 down, 6 to go. When we come back, that Rainbow, $150, and a lot more than that on a huge Saturday here at Gulfstream Park. Stay tuned.
And they're off in the Pegasus World Cup. They're off in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. And they're off in the Curlin Florida Derby. White Aborio almost home.
And Nyquist is still unbeaten. Orb and John Velasquez have won the Florida Derby.
Barbaro wins.
And there you have it. Northern Dancer will be the winner of the Florida Derby.
It's tradition. Every year, the stars gather for a spectacle. Stars of the racing world collide
What a sport! What a horse!
to cement their legacy in their quest for greatness. Bear witness as we raise the stakes and shatter the status quo. Watch as the brightest stars in fashion take the stage, and we forge unforgettable memories. Be part of this storied heritage. Revel in performances from the superstars of entertainment, and the unexpected awaits you at every turn. Join us in this unrivaling celebration, where champions ascend and legends are created. This is the Pegasus World Cup, where stars align.
And welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you here on a big 11-race Saturday card. 3 stakes coming up. The Rainbow 6. We've got that Tropical Turf Pick 3 as well. That's coming up in race 7. The Cross Country is back. Austin Santa Anita. We're amped to play that as well. But front and center here in race number 6, the Rainbow here. 150 in the gross jackpot guarantee. I mean, I would we should get way over that on a big Saturday here where they're going to be firing with both hands. And I don't have a big ticket. I got to be honest with you. Well, let me run through it, and then you'll get to my point. Race number 7, Blame the Good Times of Brian Lynch. I think is poised to improve in a big way today. Race number 8, I've got the 3, Reza Rolex, the Joe Orsino Exacta there. Should be tough. Race number 9 is my long shot, Madam Mischief. That's where I better get some value. Otherwise, I don't see it in here. I really should have singled the 2, Valiant Force, with the stablemate Cuban Thunder coming out. This probably, you could probably single that horse and play this a bunch of times. And then there is the single in race 10. I mean, we both lost our top pick, Air Recruit.
Makes the race.
Yeah, I'm going to update the morning line, but I can tell you right now, Agate Road is 3-5 on the updated morning line because everybody, I don't know if they didn't want to face them or what, they're just not here.
Not here.
We'll get to that a little bit later, but that's a 19-20, and like I said, you can cut that in thirds. I won't ask Samantha to do the math on that, but it would be $6.40 if you're scoring at home and you want to single the 2 in race 10. Let's get to it, though, now here in race number 6. We'll kick it off in a state-bred optional claimer for the fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, 6 on a fast main track. And listen, we said it last time, and it kind of played out because Nick Style is a freak for Ralph Nix. I believed in the Gervin Girl race, and she ran well again last time.
She ran huge.
She did.
Really, really gutsy for considering Nick's style.
Right.
Ralph Nix was just blew out of the water. You get Paco continues to stay aboard here again. I picked her last time. She just runs. She's running well.
Yes, she's the horse to beat in here.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about is that big number 2 back behind Olga when she was 20-1, and we said, I don't know. We don't really know if that's a thing or not. And I said, I believe in that race because she's got hidden form in races I think you can draw lines through. And she backed it up last time behind a horse that, my goodness, she's going places for Ralph. So Gervin Girl, I'm taking her at face value today. Gitana has not been in with a group like this in a little bit. I think in the last time she won, albeit on the Tapeta.
She's had a very long campaign from the summer to now. I mean, and this is great because it just all she's doing is racing and she's just keeping that fitness and she's running well. She's made, look at last year, $87,000, almost $88,000 there, just $50 short. Look at the math on that. And she's doing well, but
she is.
I keep saying this is going to come back to her. This is going to come back to her, and it hasn't.
No, and she's got a tricky post as well. But, last time she was on the main track, she faced Emma Wonder, who would be heck to pay in a spot like this. Listen, we love Sadie Bear, but you can't put her on top. She runs hard, but she always just finds one or two better, and that's why we both have her in third. Okay, so now we got some stuff going on here in race number 7. Not only is it the late pick 5, but it's also the tropical turf pick 3. You got both tickets, so you can just take it away here because we start this on a firm turf course.
We do. Whatever you guys want to throw up first, it'll be a surprise, and we'll take you through it here. All right, tropical turf pick 3. This race here we'll get to in just a moment, but I do have the 9 McCollop on top. Race 9. It is the Ginger Brew, the mile race on the grass. I do have the 6 on top, Wakisu. And I think it's important to use the other Belmont runner as well. And in race 11, the finale, I just have the 9 and the 10, Frontline Warrior and a Gate Road. I dropped one horse, and that was the 4, Tocayo. I just don't necessarily trust the Gate Road. I almost thought about just not using him completely. $54. Let's look at the late pick 5 here. Again, this 7th race, it's a spread for me. You see the single there. That is Valiant Force. This horse I actually got to see work last week at the breakfast at Gulfstream and worked really well. The 8th race, I do have the 1 on top. The 9th race, I do have the 6, Wakisu. It's my long shot as well. And in the finale, there you go. That's the 4 I added in there. So $54 to play here. And I like this sequence. This is a really good sequence. And then again, 3 of these races are part of the Coast to Coast Pick 5.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of excitement. These pools will be massive today. Let's start it off in race number 7 here. We're on a firm turf course, optional claimer for 4-year-olds and up, mile and a 16th. Few scratches in here. I don't know how significant they were, but the 2 Roos, the 6 Tap the Speed of Sound. We both had a little bit of interest underneath there. In the 7 Game Changes out. Pete's upstairs. He'll run them all through for you here. Kicks off with a really difficult race, though. You're towards the outside with McKillop. Obviously, getting back to turf is a big thing for Ian Wilkes.
Yeah, exactly. It just toss the race at Churchill Downs going a mile and an 1/8. And mile and a 16th just hits this horse right between the eyeballs here. It was the race at Keeneland. Go back and watch the stretch run. This horse was, my comment was every way but sideways. Julian Leopard tried to go inside, and then tried to go outside, and then was literally sideways, and then ran on. It was a crazy race. Now you have Louis Saez aboard. We're not going to see this horse that far back. If we are, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, they also flew that day. You can't run any faster than 47 to the half at that level at a mile and a 16th. So, I think you have to overlook that a little bit. He doesn't have to come from ninth today.
No.
Louis will put some speed in him. I thought we can show the replay of Blame the Good Times and Quality G.
Yep.
Now, Quality G at 11 to 10, they just can't help betting these horses. He had a dream trip. Fredo ran well. I do not want to take anything away from Fredo. Boy, he's doing the hard work on the chase down on the inside. Watch Blame the Good Times here. When the real running's about to begin and the silk's there, whoa, right there. You can't do that. He's trying to make a move while here's Quality G on the outside, free rolling with a dream trip. Jimmy Toner and Joe Allen run him down in deep stretch here. But Blame the Good Times kept coming. He was only beaten fourth 2 3/4 lengths. He's going to run on. He's got some fight in him that day. Let's just not get stopped today.
No, and that was third start off of a pretty long layoff as well. So, that was his second start. Now is his third start. I think this is the time where he's supposed to fire.
Right. You got Quality G in third. I got him in second. I just don't want this horse. He's no faster really than anybody.
He might be going the wrong way,
He might be going the wrong way. He was 11 to 10 in a darn good race last time. He's going to be hammered here today, especially with 3 scratches.
Yeah.
It's the type of horse you come to the track to play against. And leave it at that.
Yeah.
Late pick 4 in race number 8. We can take a quick look at my ticket because it's not that expansive. And again, I could have easily singled in race number 10, but now I the anchor now was for me Air Recruit, and you liked him as well, but now it's clearly Agate Road in race 10, although you have differing opinions. That'll be good to hear. Race number 8 now. We'll start it on the Tapeta. We'll go a mile and a 16th. These are now 3-year-olds and a starter optional claimer. We can show you the replay. Tap it 3 times. Severance, Reza Rolex, Magic Shadow. But this is all about the top 2 throwing down. And now Joe Orsino gets beat last time by Reza Rolex. What does he do? He claims him.
Love it.
I love it.
This is great. Reza Rolex, ridden by Irad, the 3 here. Irad made the difference in this race completely because I firmly believe if Irad was on the 5 would have won. I think Irad, there's no better than this.
Yeah, just dragging him home here.
Yep, drag him home.
Right. And he gets that tap it 3 times was off the claim for Joe last time. He did a good job with this horse. To me, it's Paco's not going to let that happen today.
That's my point. Yeah. Now you've got Paco aboard.
Because Paco's as strong as there is. But to me, it's a post position race.
Okay.
And Reza Rolex is outside. If tap it 3 times was in the 3 and Reza Rolex was the 1, I would pick the other one. But I think it's a post position race. The gap to whoever you think you've got, Painter's Prodigy. Talk about him.
Just a new horse, new face, very, very slow race, slow number.
Crazy slow.
What are we going to do on the Tapeta? But Brittany Russell, that's a high percentage barn.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with Brittany, she's down here with horses for the first time during the championship meet. She just set a record up in Maryland.
Yeah.
Won the stakes here last week with a horse that's going to be front and center, I would assume, in the Pegasus Filly and Mare Turf. So there's a very high percentage barn. 38% for Lasix, by the way. Okay, the first of the 3 stakes is in race number 9, the Ginger Brew. These are for the gals. The 3-year-old filly's going a mile. The boys will run in race 11, the Dania Beach. We're all over the place. We both have long shots. There's a reason why. I'm just going to start with me because all these horses come out of that race.
Yep.
So let's show my long shot, Madam Mischief. Ozara wins this race. She couldn't have had a better trip.
Yeah.
To me, you just got to play against her. I'll tell you what, Buttercream Babe ran okay too. She's going to end up finishing 4th. Now, Madam Mischief doesn't really do a lot of running in here, but we got to run this all the way through, and I don't really know why. And I know the gallop out's not the end all be all. This horse galloped out freakishly.
Yeah.
Run it all the way here, guys, and watch where this horse ends up on the gallop out. It's almost like she's like, "Oh, that's right. I'm a racehorse. I got to start trying here."
Right.
Watch where she comes out. I really look at this. I really took note of that.
It's huge. Yep.
It's huge. Great job, Bob. Thank you, guys. It's a stab. She's a big number. We got Paco. We're down inside. The favorite, the 2 Pletcher horses got just beat up by the draw today. Now later he gets helped out here.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your horse now. Well, Kizu, this horse ran huge at Aqueduct, breaking her maiden.
Yep, first time grass. So
Yeah.
I was waiting for this horse to get on the grass and cashed a bet here. The top two finishers just ran 1-2 the whole way, but Wakisu just kept going, just took aim and drew away. We'll see before you go tomorrow, so maybe keep note of that for Todd Pletcher. But this filly ran well. But I do want to say, pay attention to Sam Pantaleo because they're going to line up 1-2, and this filly stretching out, she ran really, really well.
The only worry, she was my best bet earlier in the meet. The race came off the turf. Bill Mott wanted to get her a race, I'm assuming at least, against winners. Now she's got to go into the fire against stakes gals, but she's a talent too. If they let her go early, she's dangerous. Listen, Life's an Audible is clearly the horse to beat. Breeders' Cup, second in the Miss Grillo at Aqueduct. She does get help by the 2 scratches directly to her inside.
She does. Yeah, her stablemate beat her, or not, pardon me, the Chad Brown horse beat her twice. I don't know. She just sat right off the winner in the Breeders' Cup and didn't do anything.
No, I agree totally. And she's also going to be 6-5 in here, especially after the scratches. So, you get that from a bad draw. All right, the Limehouse, pretty key scratch of Cuban Thunder. He's out, and that's what I said. Now we could probably single Valiant Force. Let's show him here. 6 furlongs on the main track, okay? And that's why I want to preface that, because here's the replay. Boy, did this horse run huge behind a,
Big Ebbs.
Big Ebbs was a freakish winner.
Yeah, this race was insane here to make up this ground. Now, granted, they went blazing fast, but this was a huge kick.
The winner's a 4, by the way.
Yeah, the winner's the 4, just stalking. We're going to see those purple and white silks. This is the far outside, so watch the horse on the far outside just burning the turf literally out from under him. There, in my mind, and I saw him breeze over the Gulfstream Park track last week, there's no reason that he shouldn't handle the dirt. And the thing is even if it's not his preferred surface, who's fast? There's just nobody else in this race, I feel like, that could be a big threat.
No, the other horse that is back in the barn next door to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Cuban Thunder's out. AMO had 2. Jorge Delgado had 2. Why are you going to run 2 when you only need 1? And Valiant Force and the $100,000 Limestone is going to be front and center. We got the Exacta underneath, mixed matched here. You've got the 3 Ship to Shore. Eddie Owens Jr. has done some good work here.
The Smoke Glacken race, in hindsight, turned out to be a really strong race. Bookham Dano has won like 4 races in a row. C Street came back to win, broke the maiden actually in that race, then came back at 5th and a 3rd here, in the Mucho Macho Man.
But the Mucho Macho Man was good when they put the blinkers on.
So there you go. So Ship to Shore, that race he got in a lot of trouble. He made a huge move, middle move. We'll just see, just throwing something.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see anyone really beating Valiant Force, but maybe you get some value underneath. I took a shot with Steeler Mischief, got IRAD, maybe Blinks. Sharpen him up a little bit. Outside, that's all. The Danny Beach got beat up, unfortunately, by the scratches. 125 on the line here. These are the 3-year-olds. Now the girls go earlier. A mile. We scratched the 2, Typhoon Fury. The 5, Reminder. My best bet of the day, Air Recruit, and Samantha's top pick is out. The 6, Palm Tree, is out as well. And what that leaves us is a horse that was going to be a huge favorite anyway, and Agate Road. Not only does he get help by the horses that are not in here, the fact that he gets 4 slots over in the starting gate is huge. He could be 1 to 9 in here.
Yeah, we both didn't like him, and I think now by default we've fallen into him here. He was really just kind of sat back and took a nap at the Breeders' Cup Juvenile turf, and then made a run, but it was almost just like he stalled. Not every horse can ship to California and run well.
Yeah, and with his running style, he's not a California horse.
No, because things move fast for him. I remember, I'm sure Rapoli is happy about this, because remember when he broke his maiden, he wasn't too happy with the ride, the wide ride that day. But now he's, like you said, moved in a slot. But how much do you really trust him? I feel like you look at the 5th in the Breeders' Cup and go, wow, but it's not that easy.
No, but he did win the Pilgrim, and those are
Pilgrim
Euros in the Breeders' Cup. I mean, he is a month and a half the horse to beat in here. At least you're doing something different. I didn't think Frontline War did any running at Aqueduct. I thought the horse that ran was Typhoon Fury. He's out. But.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Frontline Warriors, there was no urgency early in the race. super, super wide going into that first turn, just due to the draw, and the turn was right there.
Yeah.
Down the lane, I don't think Irad uncocked his stick until the last 16th, and he still ran on. So it's just, to me, I think that there's more to this horse, and I hope we'll get it today. But it's going to have to show way more to get past the 10.
You got long shot speed with Takayo, the 4, and he'll probably set up shop outside of him. But it's going to be a bunch group now, especially with the scratches. What a good 11 race card we have for you today. All those horizontals are huge as well. Let's just hit on the lightning round really quick before we send it up to Pete. And as we've talked about a couple times already, and we will remind you throughout the day and the card, Tropical Turf Pick 3, and that is in race 7 today.
Yep, 7, 9, and 11. It's a very good sequence. We'll post the ticket. 15% low takeout, $3 minimum wager. This pays huge. It paid huge yesterday, considering who came in as well. Just get aboard.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Relative to what the odds of the horses winning have been, it's been huge.
Yes.
And then also, the Coast to Coast is back today. I know you're amped up for that. Three here and 2 at our sister track at Santa Anita, and we got a nice tight 2-hour window as well.
This is great. It's 4 turf races.
Yeah.
Just the only race that is not a turf race is here. And you get some leverage. Maybe if you like Valiant Force, single them, move on.
Yeah.
Yep, this is $1 minimum, 15% takeout. 100% of it carries over if nobody hits it into the next day. So let's get after it. This is a good sequence.
Yeah, and we'll remind you, and we'll be showing those Santa Anita races as well. Tomorrow, nice stakes 2, and front and center is Into Champagne, who's going to be tough for Ian Wilkes.
Yeah, Into Champagne will be very, very tough. Hasn't run in a little bit, but this horse ran huge at Ellis.
And she was, you see the 10 Into Champagne 2, that's obviously means 2 to 1. Ian Wilkes is like 3% with first-time starters. You want to talk about they knew? They knew.
They knew, and she won like a good thing. I get it was Ellis, but still, you run these horses when they're ready, where the race comes up, boom, we're going to ship them to the Pea Patch an hour away. We'll get the win.
Absolutely. I lost my best bet today. What do you got going?
I did too. Mine was Air Recruit as well.
Oh,
yeah.
it was.
So
Okay.
I've got the long shot, Wakisu.
Yeah, and I'm in the same race to the inside with Madam Mischief for Paco down on the inside. Good renewal of the Ginger and Brew. Good card today as well. 1 through 11 is really deep and competitive. Pete's upstairs with the scratches and the changes. We are happy to have you aboard on a big Saturday here at Gulfstream Park.